Risking it all for your dreams is very risky. Like, I've had to sacrifice so much time. I've had to sacrifice time for my kids, sacrifice time with my wife, sacrifice time with my family, all for a dream that I believe in. Do I think it's wise? Yeah, because you only have one life. Do I think it's financially smart? No. All right, guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you. This means a lot to me. This would be great. All right. Good. Here comes Gabe.
I'm just gonna tell you guys some extra details that Yannick doesn't want to spend the time to tell you. No, so big picture, so you all understand what we're really trying to accomplish. Yannick hit me up and he said, Gabe, I want to do something that supports everything I'm doing, not just the music. Doesn't just support what I'm trying to do in fashion or with the rugs that he's been making, or with his design work, or his creation of shoes, right? So Yannick is one of these people that has really thrown himself at a bunch of his different talents. And in trying to wrap my head around that and how we could turn this into something that's helpful to those talents, we started talking about this show that he wants to do. And Yannick wants to put together this YouTube series, which would be a start of kind of diving into who he really is, and also to the people who make him who he is. And I think that's really why he's invited everybody here, because he wants to be able to have the discussions that challenge him in his day-to-day grind with all of you. So we hope that this is a cool little party, but we created it to be a very private event because we wanted people to feel like they're able to be open and express themselves. And when we present you with questions throughout the night, we don't really want you to think of what the right answer is. We just want to know, what is your right answer? Because that is where somebody like Yannick and somebody like myself get our inspiration from.
Is chasing your dreams worth risking it all?
Well, I think what's happiness worth, right? Like, is happiness worth it all? Like, for me, like, yes, like, my dream was obviously to become a professional stuntwoman. So in hindsight, of course it was worth risking it all, because I was able to succeed in whatever I wanted to do.
How do you feel about that, Dee?
Yeah, pretty much similar to what Lucy mentioned, what she said. I'm a person who takes risks, I feel like, all the time in everything I do. And obviously it comes sometimes with success or failure. So I feel like I've been learning through the time what's worth taking the risk for, because just 2 years ago I spent more than 20K that I don't have now on my body to compete. And was it worth it? Fuck no, but I learned a lot. Yeah. So it was definitely worth it. So it's always, learning experience. My name is Didi. I'm originally from Morocco, based here in Los Angeles. I'm a parkour athlete and stuntman. As you say, this is definitely a difficult question. What it's like for me to have a dream, to risk everything for. I feel like that would be like a different answer from person to person, just because of the life journey they go through, trying to achieve that dream or that whatever they have in their head. For me personally, it was not easy. It was full with challenges and obstacles. I feel like it was more downs than ups, but every time small wins that count big, and that's all what kept me pushing, helped me just stay focused and stay locked in. And I feel like I took a lot of risk my whole life, my whole career and all that stuff, and I'm always like what I'm doing, but I know I can pull through because I have put so much work before that, so I know it's gonna pay off regardless of, it can get scary and sometimes you don't get the result you want and all that stuff. You think about quitting and stuff, because I've done that. I've thought about quitting, I've cried and all that stuff, but I'm happy I never, I never give up and I keep pushing through.
About this yellow satin jacket. Hopefully it looks fly. Try to catch a vibe. Just try and get set up.
What are we doing today? We're shooting. The shooter's gotta shoot.
Gloves on, right?
Gloves on, yeah. And I think from the jump, your hands are together. And you go from looking at camera, you go from looking down, looking up, right? Maybe give me each of those positions in each spot that you're in. So you're in a different location. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Get the tribe, you've red eyes, closing the blinds, and she got it.
Risking it all for your dreams is very risky. Like, I've had to sacrifice so much time. Had to sacrifice time for my kids, sacrifice time with my wife, sacrifice time with my family, all for a dream that I believe in. Do I think it's wise? Yeah, because you only have one life. Do I think it's financially smart? No. I have to deal with it all the time. It's a tug of war. I have real responsibilities, and I'm not ducking those responsibilities. I'm still able to manage those responsibilities, but me managing those responsibilities have also come to a situation where I'm also taking away time from my dream. There was times where I had to stay at home and take care of the kids, and those were precious times when I needed to work on music, but I had to balance it out. I had to figure it out. And so we're at this point now where I'm just going all in, and I'll figure out the balancing while I'm there. You know what I'm saying? When I first moved to LA, I was already here. I was coming down here for music no matter what. I had a friend of mine who was already here, my boy Eric. He was a music engineer, and so I had already known him when I was in Phoenix. And so I moved here. It was good to know that I had my boy there, and then I had my best friend, Nahid, and her husband, Gabe, at the time.
What's up? My name is Gabe Nunez.
I'm Nahid Nunez.
One of Yannick's best friends on the planet, and if he says otherwise, that guy.
Yannick's BFF. Not anymore, because now Gabe is more his BFF, but I was his first BFF.
Met Yannick in college in Las Cruces, New Mexico, where I also met my wife.
We met in college. It was, I don't even know what year. I'm not going to tell you guys, because that will reveal a lot. But I met him my freshman year, and he's just kind of like this fun personality. And he showed up, and he stuck around, and just hung out all the time. He became a very close friend.
I think my personality is always to kind of utilize the people around me that I care about and put trust in their opinions as sounding boards. And Yannick is probably at the top of that list. Yannick is somebody who, you know, once or twice a week, we're doing a getaway so we can kind of just decompress from normal everyday life and talk about the shit we're trying to accomplish, talk about the problems that we're running into. And obviously with me, a lot of that is Tempest. And so I've utilized Yannick just as the guy to like keep it real with me and tell me what that outside perspective really looks like from somebody who's not like necessarily part of the parkour free run community. Puts him in like a really unique position to give me feedback that I value, but also doesn't come from like somebody who has too much stake in the position of like where the culture goes, you know? You know, along with me just running kind of business concepts and ideas and things by Yannick, you know, he also is an amazing artist, graphically, musically, and in a whole bunch of other creative ways. And I think that's what led me to really ask Yannick to like help us put this shoe together. The first NLS to the second Black and Wild, and then eventually what the ultimate creation was the LF1.
You know, I had already had a manufacturing background from doing T-shirts, and I did jackets and hoodies and stuff like that. So I had manufacturers who I dealt with all the time. I made them a bunch of money through the times. And I'm a sneakerhead, if people know. Like, I'm a real sneakerhead. I've been a sneakerhead since I was a kid. So designing a shoe, I mean, that'd be my dream. I have a degree already in computer animation, so I know the programs that is needed to get it done. And so I had came into Tempest one day, and I saw this kid. He had asked the front desk, like, can I wear these shoes? And the mom was like, the mom had asked the front lady, like, what type of shoes do we wear here? And the front office lady really couldn't give a real answer. It was like, oh, you can wear running shoes or walking shoes just as long, has traction or whatever. You don't have to wear shoes. And I was thinking to myself, hold up. We need some shoes. He was like, do it then. And I'm like looking at him like, yo, okay, we can do it, but you got to be okay on your process, because it's not cheap. This is gonna be a big task. And he was like, you do it, you figure it out, we'll get it going. Next thing you know, I'm creating parkour shoes. And by the time I got to the LF1s, which are the LaFleur shoes, that would be my third design, because I actually designed the NLS1 and the NLS2 that never was released. So this was my third shoe, and I wanted to do something different that I felt like was never done in parkour, which was build a shoe from the ground up only for parkour, not using a running shoe mold, not a walking shoe mold, not a basketball shoe mold, an original idea that I have designed. Let's make it. I know the elements of what we need to make this shoe. And it took us about 2 years to get it done. But after it was done, I would like to say, and I'll say it for the record, that if you think about it, I designed the very first parkour shoe. If somebody else say something different, with all the things I just said, like an original mold was made just specifically for parkour, wasn't a running shoe before, wasn't a walking shoe before. If you can prove that I'll let y'all have it. But besides then, I'm the first person to ever do it.
Experience, but obviously for me, definitely it's definitely worth it, fuck it, man.
I think it's like more about the journey too, is like,
100%,
you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like, when you sit down and you think about like, oh my God, I worked at Chili's for 4 years, or like waitress just so I can be here, like just live in LA, like, and pursue my dream. Like, to me, like,
The story's gonna be
like,
good.
Yeah, totally. Like that, it was worth it all. Like, even if I did fail at the end of the day, it's like the regret that I would feel if I hadn't even tried would be way worse than the feeling of failure. So I don't know. I always for me, I preach like, if you have a dream, like go for it. Like,
because you only get this one time.
Exactly,
to
you
do
got
it.
one chance. Yeah,
and even
for
if
sure.
it doesn't come the way you want to.
Right, and it never will, right?
Yeah,
like, it's
never,
always like.
Yeah, there's
That's the whole
there's
point,
no
though.
never
Yeah,
ending
right.
to that, right? I guess your dream continues to go, right? Even
Right.
if you say that you
Reach your
said that
dreams.
you want to be someone, now you're someone.
Right, but
Right.
like even like if I would have been like, oh, my dream is to double Melissa McCarthy, like that was like so far beyond like
Your
like my
thinking.
even like realm of thinking.
Yeah.
Like I could never even have dreamed that, and it happened.
Right.
So yeah, like it's obviously worth.
And when I think of you, Didi, I'm like, man, you came from a whole nother place. Like, you literally risking
Everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Not only just for like your family, but for you, your goals. So when I asked that question, I thought about you, because I'm like, man, I know how I'm chasing my dreams.
Right. That's
But
a
the way
whole
you
nother
chase
level.
Your dreams
Yeah.
a whole nother level. I can't even understand the pressure
Right.
of how you feel doing that.
Yeah, it's different. I almost don't like to talk about it anymore, because it's about me at the end of the day. It's my journey, and what I learned is all about the process. Just a few days ago, I was working this trick, and mentally, I'm like, physically, I'm like, I can do this shit first try. In one session, I should be able to do this in one session, but then I couldn't, and it took me like 3 days. So, and I feel like, oh, that was definitely better than just doing it first try, because I learned so much from those 3 days. So talking about this kind of our topic, but yeah, risking it for me, it's I've been always risking it, and that's why I'm always going in on whatever I do, whether it's training or working or take care of my family, serve, whatever I'm doing, I'm always going 100 because I know there is like not going back. And the moment I I decide to take that risk, I know it's gonna come with it. So I'm always going all in, no matter what, winning or failing or whatever, Yeah.